I'm going to show you how to use the Excel Companion's significance testing workbook to generate confidence intervals for sample proportions. I'm assuming you already understand a few essential concepts. First, I'm assuming that you know how to use proportions to describe nominal and ordinal level variables. Second, I'm assuming that you understand the foundations of inferential statistics, especially the concept of confidence intervals. This video is for people who already know what confidence intervals are and now want to learn how to generate them with Excel. It's easy to generate confidence intervals for sample proportions with the Excel Companion's significance testing workbook. You can download this workbook from the Excel Companion's website. You just input a few values specific to the problem you're trying to solve. The worksheet does the calculations and shows you the results. To generate a confidence interval for a sample proportion, you input three values into the worksheet. Number 1, the confidence level. 2, the sample proportion. And 3, the sample size. These values should be given to you in the problem you're working on. After you enter this information, the workbook shows you the confidence interval on a graph, reports its lower and upper bounds, gives you the margin of error, and shows you how it calculated all of these values. To see how it's done, let's work through a couple of examples.
Okay, here's an example confidence interval of a sample proportion problem. So I'm going to click over to a sample proportion worksheet, and the example reads, when the 2000 GSS asks whether human beings developed from earlier species of animals, 53.8% of 1,095 respondents answered that this was probably not or definitely not true. Find a 99% confidence interval for the corresponding population proportion. So in our worksheet, I'm going to up the confidence level to 99 because the problem asks for a 99% confidence interval. The sample proportion in the problem that's given to us is a percentage, so I'm going to be careful to convert this to a proportion, and the 53.8% as a proportion is 0.538. Then the sample size is given to us in the problem 1095. So when I enter, the worksheet automatically plots a confidence interval, and to answer the problem I would report the lower bound of 0.499 and the upper bound of 0.577. The confidence interval is the interval between 0.499 and 0.577. All right, another example. This one reads, in 2006, the Florida poll conducted by Florida International University asked whether current environmental regulations are too strict or not too strict. Of 1,200 respondents, 229 said they were too strict. Find and interpret a 95% confidence interval for a relevant parameter at the time of the survey. I'm back using the confidence interval of a sample proportion worksheet. It asks for a 95% confidence interval, so I will click the confidence level down to 95. For the proportion, I'm going to let Excel calculate this for me. So I'm going to enter equals 229 out of 1,200. So it gives the sample portion is 0.191. And our sample size in the problem is 1,200. So I will enter. And we found our confidence interval. It's plotted here. The lower bound is 0.169 and the upper bound is 0.213. So to interpret it, it would tell us that we are 95% confident that the true population parameter lies in the interval 0.196 to 0.213. That interval represents the plausible values of the population parameter based on our survey results. Our best estimate is that it's 0.191, but it can be anywhere within the interval.